Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching The Political Vigilante, making Gotham great again. You're the best and smartest fans in the whole world. That's why you come here. That's why you come here. Because corporate media lies to you, and God only knows what the hell's happening on other YouTube shows. God only knows. We've been covering the climate. I do at least one climate video a week because it's serious. And a new IPCC report just came out Monday, April 4th. They did one a month ago that was like, oh no, it's bad. They've done this new one. This was in the New York Times. Stopping climate change is doable, but time is short, UN panel warns. The IPCC it's through the UN. It's 195 countries participate in it. A major new scientific report offers a roadmap for how countries can limit global warming, but warns that the margin for error is vanishingly small. In January of 2018, they came out with a report and they said, we have to get off of fossil fuels by 2030 or it's too late. That's why I was such an advocate for Bernie Sanders in 2020. Because I was like, he's our last hope. He was the only one with a real Green New Deal. Tulsi, I liked her green policy. She's a sellout. Bernie's a sellout. Tulsi's a real big sellout. Funny, all the people that were huge Tulsi supporters are all anti-vax, anti-mandate people. Weird. But they've all come out publicly and said, boy, we were all wrong about Tulsi, right? Maybe I missed it. Anyway, let's get back to the climate. The report by the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, a body of experts convened by the United Nations, warns that unless countries drastically accelerate efforts over the next few years to slash their emissions from coal, oil, and natural gas, the goal of limiting global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius or 2.7 degrees Fahrenheit will likely be out of reach by the end of this decade, which is 8 years. 4 years ago, they were like, we got to do something by the end of 2030. We have to do it. And this is why Joe Biden, I was so against him because he said we need a middle ground on climate policy. Joe Biden said that. God. That's the threshold beyond which scientists say the dangers of global warming, including worsening floods, droughts, wildfires, and ecosystem collapse, grow considerably. What I will also add or extrapolate out of this this is their wording from their report. Worsening floods, droughts, wildfires, and ecosystem collapse. What this also will bring is financial and political collapse and instability. If you've just got a world full of climate refugees running from this disaster to that, what that means the whole planet's just going to be up for grabs. Right? If the West Coast, if the East Coast is uninhabitable, of all these majors, I've done stories that I showed you last month. The IPCC report from last month said Florida has irreversible. They're going to have to evacuate Miami. All the coastal cities, a third of America's population is on the East Coast, right near, I don't know. You ever heard of the island of Manhattan? I think there's a couple people living on that island. All those, Philly, Baltimore, they're all port cities. Boston. So we're just going to evacuate a third of roughly 100 million people, just have to move inland. Oh, that won't be. What problems could that possibly cause? Wildfires on the West Coast. Every summer and fall, I do this story and I tell you it's worse than last year. Every year, their new records are broken because of the droughts which fuel the wildfires. We're going to have major society. Look at what COVID did to supply lines. Now, it wasn't COVID necessarily. The COVID pandemic revealed how awful our neoliberal globalization is when countries are buying products from all over the world rather than being self-sustaining. It's a horrible system. And the ruling elites, the capitalists, just don't want to pay real labor costs because they just want more of the profits for themselves. So they ship jobs in overseas for cheap labor. And then we have empty shelves. Now, all of this is going to just exacerbate what you've seen the last 2 years. The supply chain issues that we've seen, I mean, times 10, times 20, times 100, when this gets worse. Holding warming to just 1.5 degrees Celsius would require nations to collectively reduce their planet warming emissions roughly 43% by 2030 and to stop adding carbon dioxide to the atmosphere altogether by the end of the 2050s. If the world really wanted to do this by 2030, it could. It could. And a lot of countries are passing laws to try. Who's the number one contributor? The number one polluter? United States military. We'll get into that in a second. This is a climate emergency, said the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres, adding that wealthy economies and corporations are not just turning a blind eye, they are adding fuel to the flames. But he's not talking about America because we voted evil. Trump was bad. Trump was bad. He had a whole cabinet full of climate deniers. And that's why we all dance in the streets for Joe Biden, right? Because he's been so much better than Trump. Oh, no. Oops. Who put that up there? Who put that up there? Biden approving oil, gas drilling permits on public lands at a faster rate than Trump. In Biden's first year, he's approved more drilling than Trump did. More drilling than Trump did. The report, which was approved by 195 governments, and lays out strategies that countries could pursue to halt global warming. So when we start meddling and pushing Ukraine into this war, we push Russia and Ukraine. We push Russia into the war. I'm not excusing anything awful that Putin has done, but we've pushed him into this. I've shown you videos how, people like Stephen Cohen were on Democracy Now! Back in 2015 saying we're pushing Russia into a war in Ukraine and Ukraine is just being used. The American government doesn't care about the Ukrainian people. They only care about war budgets. Russia's invasion of Ukraine has caused oil and gas prices to skyrocket, diverting political attention from climate change. See, I've shown you many times before, the petrodollar, the military, and the oil companies are intertwined. As George Carlin said, America is just an oil company with an army. So we can't have serious discussions about these reports that keep coming out every month that get worse and worse. Each report is worse than the next because, what's happening in Ukraine? And we got people like George Takei tweeting out, hey, we all just have to pay high gas prices to stick it to Putin. Oh, really, rich guy? So now we're talking about we need more oil. We need more oil. Biden is going to unlock the strategic oil reserves. No, we need to stop using oil. Ugh. In the United States and Europe, leaders are focused on shoring up domestic fossil fuel supplies to avoid price spikes and energy shortages, even if that means higher short-term emissions. I've been driving electric cars since 2017. High gas prices is not affecting me. And electric cars are not perfect, but we're not fighting wars over them. We need to do drastic stuff. What are we doing? We're going in the opposite direction because war is profitable. Oil and war work together. So we need wars. We need wars. We need more military spending. I went to, of course, our good friends at opensecrets.org to see who the oil lobby donated to in 2020. And this all the way through to 2022. And they give definitely more money to Republicans than Democrats, but still give money to Democrats. Look, Trump got 3.8 million. Joe Biden got 1.6. They hedged their bets. They hedged their bets. And look, Joe Manchin 742. Look, Republican, Democrat. They all get money. I keep trying to tell you there's no difference in the two-party system. Sure, the oil companies give a little bit more money to the Republicans. Okay, fine. But it doesn't mean the Democrats are these heroes for the environment. That's the whole strategy of the awful two-party system. If you care for the environment, you got to vote Democrat because they're just not as bad for the environment. Okay, so here's what voting Democrat does. Here's what having Joe Biden as your president, and the Democrats currently control the House and the Senate and the White House. They control all three branches. So what that means is rather than we're all extinct from complete climate collapse by 2040, with Joe Biden, we're going to live to 2045. That's all this means. Literally, we're buying an extra 5 years. But unless drastic change is happening, which is not going to happen with the Democrats, certainly not with the Republicans, obviously, but it's not going to happen with the Democrats either. You're a sucker if you vote for these two parties. If you care about the environment, if you care about your children's future, if you're a teenager or in your 20s and you care about seeing your 50th birthday, you do not vote or give your money to the Democrats or Republicans. Because guess what? Even though, and when Vote Any Blue would do, liberals go, yeah, but I mean, the Republicans, they get more money. Sure, but look at this. Joe Manchin's a Democrat. So just vote for any Democrat. This is what it gets you. It also gets you almost equal money by the defense industry. I've shown you this one. This is 2020 defense top recipients. You can go to opensecrets.org and look this up yourself if you don't believe me. Joe Biden, 3.1 million. Donald Trump, 2.7. Bernie Sanders, 800,000. Almost only a $300,000 difference. 3.1 and 2.7. So we need this war in Ukraine to keep everything going. But so what if the IPCC keeps saying we're running out of time, we're running out of time? War in Ukraine rally support Congress for more military spending. This IPCC report, this should get Congress to have an emergency session. So we need to allocate a bunch of money right now to reverse climate change or we're all dead. Which thankfully they did. Oh shit. Damn it. 1.5 trillion in spending plan, Ukraine aid in, we can't even get COVID funding. So if you're still struggling, and I know people who still are not working because their job got wiped out because of COVID, or they're in some industry like tourism or something like that, it's barely coming back, but it's been 2 years. But you got to pay more at the pump because of Putin. No, oil companies are greedy. Oil companies' profits soared to $174 billion this year. This is from 2021 as U.S. gas prices rose. And all Exxon, Chevron, Shell, BP, they all work hand in glove with the military-industrial complex. There is some good news. I want to show you some good news. And I would start following this Assad Rizek. They just put good climate each week. They put new good climate news because there are people trying out there. There are countries that are paying attention to this. UK to triple solar, quadruple offshore wind by 2030. EU holds firm on Fit for 55. New South Wales draws 6 gigawatts in green hydrogen bids. Canada in 7.3 billion climate roadmap. It's first. Taiwan unveils 2050 net zero roadmap. Spain's CESPA, 8 billion by 2030 on green shift. This is a great, I just got turned on to it. Truth to Tweet sent this to me. Good news in climate. The solutions are already out there. Countries are already doing it. India has vowed to go no more gas cars by, I think, 2035. A lot of car companies are going to stop selling gas cars. This is where vote with your dollars matters. This is where vote for your dollars matters. So other countries are waking up. Why won't America wake up? If you vote for the lesser of two evils, it's still evil. It's like, you want to die in a fire or you want to die of a heroin overdose? Those shouldn't be the choices. The choices should be like, this person, this party they're going to fix things or we're dead. So follow the money, connect the dots, get the truth. We are running out of time. So all these other arguments about all this other crap is literally a waste of time. We fix everything else, but we don't fix the climate. We're all dead. Just take that in. Shave your knuckles for justice. It's the only way we're going to make Gotham great again. Boom. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching. We are still in our 9th month of demonetization from YouTube. So support what we're doing at patreon.com/Graham Elwood or rockfin.com/Graham Elwood, which is a blockchain cryptocurrency platform. It's free to sign up, and there's a premium level at $10 a month. And for that, you get everybody on the platform's premium content. Myself, Lee Camp, Ron Placone, Jimmy Dore, Whitney Webb, Kim Iverson, Abby Martin, and many, many others. You can also support what we're doing at Venmo at Graham-Elwood and go to GrahamElwood.com. We have a PayPal button and a PO box. I also have crypto wallets, which are all in the show notes. Thanks for supporting what we do.